Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and if you could tell, this isn't a movie review. And that is because instead of seeing a movie on April 6th and reviewing it, I will be going to PAX East. So I am recording this video in advance so that I have something to upload instead of missing another video yet another week. Since the next Marvel movie coming out is Avengers Infinity War, I figure why not figure out the best Marvel movie, tournament style. With all these March Madness brackets going on, I figure this is a perfect time, even though this is coming out April 6th and March is over. But nonetheless, we're going to do this. I made a bracket. I've done my best to include every single Marvel movie. I may or may not have missed a few. And some of these, I haven't even seen. So, let's get right into this. Alright, so first up we have X-Men: The Last Stand and Spider-Man 3. What a pairing, huh? Two movies that are the third in their respective trilogies, and the worst of those respective trilogies. Now, I remember liking Spider-Man 3 as a child because I didn't know what bad movies were. Every movie was good. If I saw a movie, it was a good movie. So, I guess I'm just going to go with Spider-Man 3 because that's just all I can remember. Okay, next up is The Incredible Hulk and Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider wasn't good, and The Incredible Hulk wasn't good either. It was fine. Incredible Hulk was fine. I remember like liking Ghost Rider when I was younger. Again, another thing, and The Incredible Hulk I liked a lot too. I don't know which to pick because these are both like I think the same level of good and the same level of bad for me. But oh man, I really don't know. I think Ghost Rider is a cooler character, so we'll just go with Ghost Rider. Next is the Wolverine and the Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man. Okay, I remember I've only seen the Wolverine once. I've seen the first Spider-Man a few times. The Wolverine is fine. The Wolverine isn't bad, but I definitely like Spider-Man more. Okay, Doctor Strange and Thor. Both really good origins, typical Marvel movie origins. But I remember liking Doctor Strange a lot more right out of the gate than I did Thor. And then the reverse kind of happened. I thought about Doctor Strange a bit more and I was like, okay, that wasn't as good as I thought it was. And Thor, I was like, okay, that was better than I initially thought. So I think they're at the same level of enjoyment for me. But I'm going to go with Thor only because it was like earlier. It was because Doctor Strange came out later and it was kind of just another origin. So and it had all of these movies behind it, and Doctor Strange I think should have been a lot better than it was. So I'm going to go with Thor. Okay, Daredevil and Deadpool. This one's a no-brainer. Like without a question it's Deadpool. Daredevil's not even good. Daredevil's probably one of the worst movies on this list. And to put it up against Deadpool, which is arguably one of the best, it's like it's no question. Okay, so we have Fan 4 Stick and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 could have been a lot better than it was, but it's certainly a lot better than Fan 4 Stick, without a question. This one, yeah, Volume 2, absolutely. Oh my god. So Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer and X-Men Origins Wolverine. Again, two terrible movies put up against each other. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to go with Rise of the Silver Surfer because that one was at least fun. That one I think like you could watch that and you could have fun with that movie. I don't think you could have fun rewatching Origins. Okay, so The Punisher, Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 wasn't great. Haven't even seen The Punisher, but I have to go with Iron Man 2 just because I haven't seen Punisher. So Blade 2, Captain America Civil War. Haven't seen Blade 2, but Civil War is really hard to beat regardless. Punisher Warzone and Thor the Dark World. I haven't even seen Punisher Warzone, but I probably know more about Punisher Warzone than Thor the Dark World, and I've seen Thor the Dark World twice. So, just with that alone, I'm going with Punisher Warzone. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy and Logan. This is quite a matchup. These are two very different movies. You have this really fun space opera, and then you have this really gritty western that wasn't like you have to go with Logan though. You have to go with Logan on that one. because it was Hugh Jackman's last performance as Wolverine, and it was just such an amazing send-off for that character. X-Men and the Avengers. This is a tough one because not only is X-Men really good, but it arguably, I don't even think arguably, I think just period started this whole craze for superhero movies. So, but then the Avengers is like this build-up of all these movies that, wow, this bracket got a lot better as it went on. Like, it started off terrible, and it just gradually got a bit better. Anyways, X-Men or the Avengers? I think I'm going to go with X-Men on this one because, like I said, it started off this whole superhero craze, this whole superhero movie franchise that's just been happening, this almost monopoly of superhero movies. And the Avengers is good. I don't think it's as rewatchable as I initially thought it was, but man, X-Men is really a really solid first movie. Okay, so Avengers, Age of Ultron, and Elektra. Haven't seen Elektra. Age of Ultron wasn't that great, but from what I've heard, Elektra is even worse. Thor Ragnarok and Ant-Man. Okay. Thor Ragnarok was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun seeing Ragnarok. I also had a lot of fun seeing Ant-Man. Now, the problem with this movie is Ant-Man is just Ant-Man. Thor Ragnarok, you have Thor, you have Loki, you have the Hulk. Like, you have all these other characters from other movies. But which do I think is better? I think Ant-Man. I think I had more fun with Ant-Man. I certainly think Thor Ragnarok was funnier. But I think Ant-Man I had more fun with because Paul Rudd's really hard to beat. But then again, man, all the characters in Thor Ragnarok had a really great chemistry. Oh, this is a tough one. This is really a tough one. I will go with. Oh man, geez, this is really difficult for me, anyways. I don't know about how it would be for you guys. I'll go with Ant-Man. Okay, last up for round 1. Captain America: The Winter Soldier or Iron Man 3? Without a question, Winter Soldier. Like, coming out of Winter Soldier, I was like, that was incredible. I was like, man, everything about this movie was perfect. Iron Man 3, I enjoyed Iron Man 3, but I know there were problems with it. There were quite a lot of problems with it, but there were parts of it that I enjoyed. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 3. The Amazing Spider-Man. Didn't think it was great. It was certainly better than than Spider-Man 3. Okay, Hulk and X2. Haven't seen Hulk, but X2 was phenomenal. Like, I remember really enjoying X2 when I saw it. Spider-Man Homecoming and Ghost Rider, it's Spider-Man Homecoming, without a question. Okay, Spirit of Vengeance and Spider-Man. I really liked Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. There were some, like, the burning leather jacket, when his skull was on fire, like, and he was on the car during the daytime. I thought that really looked cool. It's not a good movie, but it's a movie that I had a lot of fun with when I saw it. But it doesn't beat Spider-Man. Not a chance. Haven't seen Blade. Thor's pretty good. I'll go with Thor. Mainly because I haven't seen Blade. X-Men First Class and Deadpool. First Class is pretty good. After the second X-Men movie, I think, after Last Stand. I think it was Last Stand, Origins, and then First Class. First Class was certainly what seemed to be a comeback for the X-Men franchise. And Deadpool would not have been made without the X-Men. But X-Men, I enjoyed Deadpool a lot more than I enjoyed First Class. Okay, Howard the Duck in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Haven't seen Howard the Duck, but from what I understand, it is quite bad. So we're going with Volume 2. Black Panther and Rise of the Silver Surfer. It's Black Panther, without a question. Rise of the Silver Surfer doesn't even compare to Black Panther. Iron Man 2 and Days of Future Past. I think I enjoyed Days of Future Past much more than Iron Man 2. I'll go with that one. X-Men Apocalypse and Civil War. It's Civil War. No questions asked on that one. Didn't like Apocalypse. I first coming out of that movie, I was like, man, these X-Men movies are getting better and better. thinking about it afterwards, it's like, man, that was not a good movie. Okay, Iron Man, Punisher, Warzone. Haven't seen Punisher, Warzone, as I said, but Iron Man was so good. First Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, just so good. Logan and Blade Trinity. Haven't seen Blade Trinity, but I doubt it would be Logan. Spider-Man 2 and X-Men. Okay, this is a really hard one. Spider-Man 2 was phenomenal, arguably one of the best superhero movies. But again, X-Men started the whole trend of the superhero movies. I think I'm going to give it to Spider-Man 2 for just being a better movie, but that's not to take away from what X-Men was and is. Okay, the first Avengers or Age of Ultron. I think I enjoyed the first Avenger a lot more than Age of Ultron. Fantastic Four and Ant-Man. Ant-Man. It's Ant-Man. Okay. Winter Soldier and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man was the same thing as Spider-Man 3. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the same problem as Spider-Man 3. Too many villains, too much going on, doesn't make sense. And what's funny about that is at Comic-Con, there was a panel for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and one of the people there was asked, like, hey, this seems like a Spider-Man 3 problem where there's going to be too many villains, too much stuff going on. And one of the guys on the panel was like, no, I think we have just the right amount. And then the movie comes out, and it's the exact same problem as Spider-Man 3. But Winter Soldier, like I said, is going to be very hard to beat. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man and X2. I really enjoy the costume in The Amazing Spider-Man. I know a lot of people didn't, but I didn't like the movie all that much. Like, I liked the movie, but I didn't like it enough to get a poster of it. But I had a poster of it in my room because I like the costume so much. But that certainly doesn't make it better than X2. Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming or Spider-Man. That's a tough one. Because the original Spider-Man was very good, especially for an early 2000s superhero movie. But Spider-Man Homecoming just not only brought Spider-Man back for me. Actually, you know what? Okay, I'm going to give it to Spider-Man, and here's why. Spider-Man Homecoming was so good, but it's also the 6th Spider-Man movie we've had. It took 6 tries to get Spider-Man right. And I think if you put Spider-Man Homecoming up, like if Spider-Man Homecoming was maybe the second Spider-Man movie to come out, it would be better than Spider-Man. But since Spider-Man came out 15 years ago, I think 15 years ago, and they took 6 tries to get Spider-Man Homecoming. I think like as a first movie, Spider-Man is better, if that makes any sense. Okay, Thor or Deadpool. It's Deadpool. Again, sorry. Like, without a question. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Black Panther. It's Black Panther. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is not as good as it should have been. Or could have been. But I don't think it could have beaten Black Panther because Black Panther was so good. Days of Future Past, Civil War. It's Civil War. Wasn't a huge fan of Days of Future Past. It was alright, but it certainly was no Civil War. Iron Man or Logan? That's another tough one. I think Logan because of the send-off. Iron Man started the whole cinematic universe. Iron Man was good. They were going off of almost no script, but it kind of falls apart in the end. And while Logan kind of does that thing where the villain is just another version of the hero, in this case, one of the villains was literally the bad version of the hero. I think overall it was better than Iron Man. It was just such a beautiful set. Logan was the first superhero movie I cried at. So I mean, come on. And the only, I think, so far. I don't think I cried at... Actually, I cried at Justice League because I was so upset about how bad it was. Not actually. Okay, Spider-Man 2, Captain America the First Avenger. Wow. Hard. Kind of... I'll say I'm leaning a bit more on the Spider-Man 2 side. Captain America First Avenger was good. I really enjoyed it. But I don't think it was quite as good as Spider-Man 2 for me. Okay, Ant-Man, Captain America the Winter Soldier. As I said, Captain America came out of that movie immediately was wow. Had a lot of fun with Ant-Man, but I think Captain America the Winter Soldier is just a little bit higher on it for me. Okay, X2 and Spider-Man, both early 2000s superhero movies. X2 being a sequel, Spider-Man the first of its trilogy. Oh, boy. I think I'll have to give it to X2 because that the franchise is still around, kind of, technically. I know it's like new casting for pretty much all of the characters, but that's still the same universe as opposed to Spider-Man, which has been rebooted twice now. So I'll give it to X2 for that reason. Deadpool and Black Panther. This one's okay. I'll give it to Deadpool because I think coming out of Deadpool, I've watched Deadpool twice in theaters. I saw Black Panther only once. I know Black Panther's not out. I don't think Black Panther's out on DVD, but I do own Deadpool on Blu-ray. Like I really, really enjoyed Deadpool. Black Panther was so good. I loved Black Panther. There were some things that it did in this movie, like killing both of the villains. I wasn't a huge fan of that. But I'm going to go ahead and say Deadpool on this one. Civil War and Logan. Ugh. I'll say Logan again. Both these movies are phenomenal. I really loved these movies when I first saw them, but I'm going to give it to Logan on this one. Okay, Winter Soldier. Oh my goodness, Winter Soldier and Spider-Man 2. I'll say Winter Soldier. Oh no, this is so hard. This is way hard. This decision is way harder than I thought it was going to be. Like, after I selected Winter Soldier right here, I was like, oh, I got to make that decision. That's going to be easy. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be. Spider-Man 2 or Winter Soldier. Both the second movie in their respective series. Both introduced somebody who was like good at first and kind of turned evil for different reasons. Oh boy. Oh, man. I will say I really don't know. You know, we'll go back to that one. X2 or Deadpool. I'll go with Deadpool on this one. I'll go with Deadpool on this one again. X2 is good. X2 is really good. But I don't think it's as good as Deadpool is. Okay, back to this. I can't just put them all through. Oh, this is so hard. I will say I'll go with Winter Soldier on that one. Okay, now Logan or Winter Soldier. Again, this is so hard, man. Okay. Based on this, Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. But I'm going to go with Logan on this one. I'll go with Logan on this. Now, the final. Now, this bracket, like, this doesn't mean whichever one doesn't win this is second place for me. Because I think I like Winter Soldier more than I like Deadpool. So it's hard. And I definitely like Winter Soldier more than I like X2. I definitely like Black Panther more than I like X2. But just the way the bracket was set up, that's how it goes. So whichever one wins this, that doesn't mean the loser of that is second place by any means. With all that being said, I never would have expected two 20th Century Fox movies to be in my top 2 Marvel films of all time, apparently. I guess it's not my top 2, but I guess my final 2. I did not expect that to happen. I'll go with Logan. Logan's a bit of a downer at the end, but man, like, it's real hard to beat Logan. It's really hard to beat Logan for me. It's saving. I don't know what's happening here. You gonna let me select? There we go. The final bracket in all its glory. This can go away. I don't want that banner to go away, but whatever. Here's the bracket in all of its glory. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What decisions did I make that you wouldn't have? Based on this bracket. Like I said, definitely like Black Panther more than X2. Definitely like Captain America Winter Soldier more than Deadpool. Just the way the bracket was set up, that's how this went. The second half of the bracket was certainly a lot stronger than the first half. But hey, it was randomly generated. There were no seeds. It was just put everything in randomly. But yeah, this was cool. Bit of a long video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to let me know. And I'll be sure to do more of these. In the meantime, maybe I won't do more of these. Well, in the meantime, my name is Ian. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye! Wait, what?